Jahmyr Gibbs was picked 12th overall in the 2023 NFL Draft, and I think it surprised a lot of people, but the Lions were beyond excited to land him in the draft, and there's definitely a reason for that. So today, we'll be going over just what Jahmyr Gibbs might be in for in this season, all he can contribute, and much more. So before we get into it, I just want to say this is our final player prediction video. We have reached the end. That is 32 teams done, but 33 videos in the series, because one of them was a breakout players video I did. If you haven't seen it, go check that out. But this concludes our player prediction series. We'll now be moving on to the team predictions, which will be way more in-depth on offense and defense and coaching and schedule and all that kind of stuff. So if that sounds interesting to you guys, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss it, because it's only Madden content and NFL content on this channel, football one way or another. Now, for Jahmyr Gibbs, I will have his stats up on the screen from college. Again, there's no NFL stats because he hasn't played yet. He is just a rookie. But Gibbs' best game came against Arkansas, where he had 206 yards and 2 rushing touchdowns. But he was on a great streak there from Arkansas through Tennessee, where he had over 100 yards at least, with multiple touchdowns, 3 against Tennessee. And this guy can really play, but it still was a big surprise to see him being taken so high. I believe the Lions had the, I want to say, 6th pick in the draft before they traded back. I could be wrong, but I believe they were the 6th and traded back. But at that point, they said they were comfortable taking Gibbs anyway. They just traded back and happened to land him. So if you are taking a running back 6th overall, it is not because you kind of like the prospect and you think he can contribute. This is someone that they probably had their eyes on. They wanted badly. I mean, that would have meant he would have gone before Bijan Robinson, who was one of the best running back prospects in I don't know how long. So Gibbs is going to have a massive role on the Lions. Now, will, that mean meaningful like fantasy points or even meaningful minutes? I don't know. Personally, I think so. But again, we're not sure, and some people don't like this pick. Some people do. Personally, I think it's going to work out. I still don't know if he's the right pick there because you can probably get him later on. But again, if it works out, then at least it works out. Now, coming over to the depth chart, the Lions as a whole honestly had one of the more underwhelming drafts. I think people expected a lot, just different picks, and they didn't really get that. You get Sam Laporta, you get Jahmyr Gibbs, and they got, I know it's a safety, I just can't remember what his name is, and I'm sure you got Brian Branch as well for free safety. So, and I think Branch was a good pick, but Gibbs and Laporta were definitely kind of questioned. But Gibbs is the starting running back, and at the time when they drafted him, DeAndre Swift was still on the roster. So Gibbs was someone that they were looking at for a while, and they were prepared to take over their already proven running back. Even though he had some injury issues, they felt comfortable enough drafting this guy and starting him, or at the very least having him split carries with an already proven NFL starter. So Jahmyr Gibbs should not be taken lightly as far as his NFL season goes. The Lions as a whole, though, they have Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jameson Williams, who is suspended for the first 6 games. You have Marvin Jones coming back from the Jaguars, and then you also have Sam Laporta, like I said before. This offense is, in my opinion, very, very good. It's going to be a lot better whenever Jameson Williams is unsuspended. He's going to bring a lot of speed, a lot of just kind of dynamic play to the offense. And I think they're probably going to thrive whenever he's in it. I think they might struggle a little bit because they might be missing the speed that he can bring. But you know what? Their offense looked great last year, and they didn't really have him then either. So, I guess it's going to be pretty much the same thing just before this guy gets here. But when he does, I think they'll be even deadlier. But Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is going to be very big in the passing game as well. It seems like he can be a pretty much every down back, as long as he can stay healthy. I think another thing, Dave Montgomery as the backup is very solid depth. That's a veteran. He can definitely help kind of coach up and mentor Jahmyr Gibbs. I love bringing him in. He does have the tendency to get hurt, so Gibbs might be finding himself in a even bigger role than intended if Montgomery happens to get hurt and Gibbs stays healthy. But I think regardless, he is capable of filling that role and doing it very well because of his impact in the receiving game. He is unbelievably, just shifty. He can miss tackles. He can break tackles. He can really do it all. I just think it's still surprising to take him with the 12th pick. At the end of the day, I think the pick will be criticized regardless because there is always the point of you could have got him later on. But I think it still comes back to how pumped they were in that draft room when they landed him. I'm not sure if you guys have seen the video, but they were smacking the table. They were excited. So this is their guy. The offense, I'm not going to say he's going to run through him, but he is going to be one of the biggest weapons on this team, whether Jameson Williams is playing or not, in my opinion. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is still going to be their biggest, but Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a threat, whether it's the running game or the receiving game. He's really going to thrive. I do think a lot of that's going to come with all the opportunities he's given in his first year, because he's going to be expected to produce. And again, he's going to be getting the ball a lot. So from a fantasy football perspective, I think that's big because of the impact in the rushing and receiving game, of course. I would think he's still in on goal line downs, but you can always make the case that David Montgomery gets in. But in my opinion, I think Gibbs still kind of gets that. Jared Goff actually did a great job last year at really using all the weapons on the Lions very, very well. Hawkinson, before they trade him away, still Amon-Ra St. Brown, of course, and I cannot remember who else they had, 'cause I feel like they had someone else different, or maybe it was just Josh Reynolds, and I'm just not remembering. But no, I think it was DJ Chark. He used DJ Chark well, too. So Goff can actually dish the ball better than people kind of give him credit for. I understand he is criticized, and some of that is, kind of, I guess, warranted, but he is definitely able to hit the checkdowns well, see guys coming across the middle, and I think they're working to free up Gibbs in the passing game as well, whether that means trying to hit him underneath or wheel routes or whatever it is. But Gibbs is a pretty good receiver, so you can definitely throw it fairly far to him. He will be able to get it. I know in training camp he already had kind of a deeper catch on the sideline. I think he ran in for a touchdown. I believe he also already broke a big run in training camp. So again, I know it's just training camp, but you still want to see those flashes and those good things from players that are going to be getting a lot of work, like I think me and a lot of people think Jahmyr Gibbs is going to have this season. I think another big thing is that, like, the Lions division is not the toughest in the world. Whenever we talk about these players, sometimes it's like, they're in the AFC North, but the NFC North isn't the toughest. It's going to be competitive, but it's definitely not as tough as like the AFC North or the NFC East or anything like that. And again, obviously every game counts because it is football, and that's just how football goes. But I do think if the Lions can kind of capitalize off this full of fire kind of offense, this firepower offense, if they can be able to get a 2 or 3 game lead in their division, I think the Vikings are the only team catching them. I did a tier list ranking all the teams, so if you didn't see that, that might not make any sense, but go check that out. Which also, the support in that video is crazy. I think it's almost up to 4,000 views, I'm pretty sure, which is just crazy, so thank you guys for all that. But I do expect the Lions to either be top or second in that division. I think Gibbs will be a big part of that. But guys, comment down below if you agree or disagree with this. Personally, I understand the pick being criticized, but I do think it's going to work out for them, so I think he's going to get a lot of work. And I think he's really ready to handle that in the pass game and in the receiving game. I just said the same thing in the receiving game and the running game. But that's going to do it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. If you did stay this long, I do really appreciate it. Again, this is finishing our player prediction series. We're now doing our team predictions. Way more in-depth coming out in a couple days. We have their tier list coming, because I do NFL tier list videos as well, NFL quiz videos, week picks when the season's going on. And I also do Madden videos where we have a no money spent series. We do gameplays, we do pack openings, and new promo content news. And Madden 24 comes out August 15th or 14th, somewhere around there. And once that drops, we'll be doing those videos too. Thank you guys for watching. I do really appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.